Wanna build a multi-step form in Framer without spending a single money? No paid tools, no plugins, just pure Framer. And instead of making the users to fill out a long, boring form, what if they answer one simple question at a time in each of the steps? Sounds good, right? That's what we are going to build in this video. Here's what we are building. In this video, I will be using the Framer's native form to create a smooth multi-step flow. And once the user submits the final step, all the data goes straight into the Google Sheets automatically. It's simple, clean, and super user-friendly. Let's get into the video. First, let's check on with the setup I have made beforehand. Here I have created a multi-step form wrap, and inside it I have created with title full wrap and form wrap. Inside this title full wrap, there is a title and another subtitle, and then we have the form wrap. Here I have created with the top bar with the progress bar component and a line. And in the title, I have given with the title. And let's get into the progress bar component in order to understand how I build it. So let's get into it. Here I have created something like this. Okay, and coming to this, I have made another component of number and also a filler. Okay, let's get into the component inside it, and later on I will explain how I made this variants. Okay, and getting into this component, I have created the variant 1 and variant 2 with two different colors. One is with the purple and another one with the gray. Okay, let me go to the progress bar, and primary itself I have created all the completion of the multi-step form. So the first step, second step, third step, and fourth step, everything has been completed. So I have made like that. So we have seen about the number component. Let's get into the filler component, this one. Okay, let me get into the component. Here I have created three variants, one with full and half and with none. Let's get into the full first. Here I have created the filler gray with the position of relative. Here in the none, this is the filler gray. This will be like a placeholder. And next is filler purple. This purple will be like a progression. So that gray will be the holder and the purple will be the progression. Let me show you how I built. In this full, as I have said, I have the gray with the position of relative, and I have the filler purple with the position of absolute. So that purple will be overlap that gray. Okay, and I have given the width to 100% in order to occupy the full things. That's why I have named it as full. And coming to the half, this is like a halfway through. So coming to this filler purple, I have mentioned the width as 50%. Okay, and then none, that is no progression happens. It's something like that. So for the purple, I have given the width to 0. So the none will be there is no progression happened. The half will be half of the progression happened, and the full is the full progression have happened. Let me show you in the progress bar component, and here I have created with the 4 variants. So this will be the full. So all the process happening, that is all the multi-step has been completed, and this is the first half. Only the first form has been started. So for that we need to do the design like that. Let me show you how I made. Coming to this first half, in the number, it will be fully in a purple. So only I have chosen up with the variant 1. Coming to the filler, the half of the progress has been happened in the first step itself. That's what I mean. So coming to the filler, I have named it as half, and remaining everything will be none. So coming to the 2, 3 and 4, I have given the variant to 2, and there is no progression happened, so that variant will be none. Coming to the second half, the first step has been fully completed. The second process is on the process. That's why I made like this. So the second one will be with the variant 1, and the third one will be with the half. The remaining will be in the gray. In coming to the third half, the first step has been completed and the second step has been completed. The third step is in the progress. So that's why I made like this. So the third one will be in the variant 1, and this one will be with the half. And finally, we will be having the full progression. So this is the component I have built, and the next is the title wrap. Here we have given with the title, that will be the contact details. And furthermore, we are going to add the fields which is needed for the forms. So as I have mentioned earlier, instead of making the user to enter the details, we are going to make it like objective type question. That is, we are going to provide the question and just they have to select from the option, not they are going to type their answers. That's what we are going to make. So let's see how we're going to make that. So inside this form wrap, so I'm going to add the form. Let me go to the insert. Let me add the forms. So I have added the form here. What I have planned is I'm going to create the component by using this form, and I will be creating with a n number of variants, so whichever I have planned, and I will be making the interaction between each forms. So before doing that one, what I have planned is I'm going to add all the necessary field which is needed for this form. So I'm going to add all the fields, radio buttons, checkbox buttons and everything in this form itself, and later on I will be creating the component. Okay. So here I need the name, email, phone number and a company. So let me delete this one and also this one. Let's do all the necessary styling to this one, and later on we will start to do the duplication. Okay. And coming to this, let me make the height to be in 100 and this one to be in fill. Okay, here I am going to change the styling for this text to fill. So let me give the border for the fill color. Let me give it the white. Let me give the shadows. Okay, and for the placeholder, let me make it as dark gray. The color dark gray. Okay, what's the next thing? Okay, then this is the name. Let me choose up with the style, and for the input field, let it be Poppins 18, so that we have completed with the text field of it. And let me duplicate this one. This one will be the email. The placeholder will be email address. It will be the required one. The same follow-ups, it will be the required one. Okay, and this one will be email. So we have completed the two label, and let's add the stack. This one will be top fill, and let me duplicate the another one. This one will be bottom fill. Okay, and coming to this input field, let me make it as phone number, and this will be phone number. This will be phone. The same here, email. Okay, this will be the phone, and coming to the label, let's make it as phone number. And coming to this one will be the company, and this is not the email, this is the text. So name it as company name. This is not required, even phone number is not required. Okay, so that we have created the first step of this multiple form. And let me select with this form, let me make the width to be in fill. Okay, and later on going to the top fill, let's make the direction to be in horizontal, the same horizontal. Okay, and what we missed is I have given the a shadow effect, right? So it's cutting out. It's because of this overflow. Let me make this visible. The same visible, and let me increase the gap. Give it as 35 or 40, and here let me give it as 25. The same 25. Okay, so that we made like this, and before that let make the height to be in fit content. Yes, it's looking good. What I feel is, let me increase the gap at the bottom. So on the bottom I'll make it as 75. Okay, so that we have created the first form, that is this contact details. Okay, and then we need to add, after getting the contact details, we are going to move on to the next form. Here we will be asking the customer, we will be asking the user to select the service they need. So for that I have planned to use the checkbox. So I am going to ask, what service do you need, what service do you prefer? So from that I'm going to give it as web design, development, marketing and others. So they just have to select that, so there is no need to type on it. So for that I'm going to use the checkbox. Let's see how to make that. So I'm just clicking on this plus sign. Let's add the checkbox. So here is the checkbox. Let me name it as checkbox. Okay, so I have named it as checkbox. Let me give the height to be in 100, and as of now let me fix this one. Let it be 50%. Let it be in a 50% of the width. And for the subscribe to newsletter, let me change the style to be in subtitle. Okay, and then for this checkbox, let me take out this one and make it as fill and fill. Okay, and coming to the subscribe to newsletter, I'm going to make the position to be in absolute. Got it? Let me show you one by one. And here let me give the name as of now, web design. Okay, and here what I have planned is I'm going to give the icons and add on to that as a web design. Okay, so let me add a tag first. This will be act as content wrap. Here I'm going to add the icons. So I have added the icon with the prosper icon. Here I have chosen with the necessary icon. Okay, and then for this content wrap, I'm going to make the position to be in absolute and make the width to be in 100%. Okay, and coming to the layout, let me take out this absolute positioning to be in relative. Okay, this is the icon wrap, and for this content wrap, let me make the distribution to be in the start. And for the padding, let me give the left padding to be in 20. Okay, so that we made a setup of this one. And coming to this checkbox, we need to change the styling that should resemble this one. So I am just selecting on this input. Let me copy this border, and for this border let me paste this one. Beforehand let me make the radius to be in 20. Then we need to give the fill color, so let me make it as white. And then we need a shadow, so let me copy this shadow and let me add the shadow. Okay, it's looking great. And coming to the focused, I'm going to choose the purple color. This will be the focused. And coming to the checked, again it will be the purple. Sorry, for the border it will be the purple. And let me take out this icon. Okay, this will be the thing. Let me give the transition also. Okay, great. Then what's the next thing is, we need to create the different checkboxes. There is the web design, another one is the development, another one is the marketing, and another one is the other. So for that, what I have planned is, let me create the component for the checkbox. Let me create the component for the checkbox. So here is the thing. Let me add it as checkbox 1. Here I am going to add the hover effect for this checkbox 1. So let me add the hover, and coming to this hover, let me add the border, that will the purple. Oh, I'm sorry. That is for the checkbox. So make sure to check on the checkbox coming to the border. Okay, and let's check on it. Okay, great. In this component, we can create the variables for this icon and also for the text. But what the concern is, this checkbox is a standalone checkbox, right? So if I make the submission it's just storing in the Google Sheet, but it's not creating the extra fields. Okay, it's just starting to replace the existing one. So what I feel, it's better to create the variants. Okay, and then beforehand, doesn't add the name to it. Let me add it as project. Okay. Okay. So now let me add a variant. This will be act as checkbox 2. And here I'm going to use another icon, just stop. Okay. And let me add the hover effect. For the checkbox, let me go to the border. Okay, and then let me add then another checkbox that will be act as checkbox 3. And for this one, okay, let me add this one. That is another issue arises. If I change the icon type, it's also affecting the primary. So what I think is, let's create a variable for it. Okay, and only we are going to change the icon in the main page. Okay, let's create the variant 3. It will act as checkbox 3, and this will be marketing. Let me create the hover effect, and for this checkbox, let me add it as 100% content writing. And okay, and this will be checkbox 4, and let me create the hover effect. Okay, so that we have created the 4 variants along with the hover effect for this checkbox. Okay, let me go back. So in the home, let me duplicate it for 4 times. Let me add the stack first. This will be the projects wrap. Okay, and then I'm going to add the stack. This will be the top field, and for this it will be the bottom field. Okay, and for this, let me make the direction something like this, and for both the checkbox, let make it to fit content, and the same follow-ups here. This will be the fit content, and coming to this one. Okay, and let me give the gap to be in 25. The same follow-ups here, 25. And coming to the next checkbox, let's make the checkbox to development. This one 4, and it's cutting off. So let me make it to fill, and fill. The same here, fill and fill. Okay, and also let's give the overflow to be invisible and visible. For the whole stack, let me give it to 40. Should be invisible, and then project wrap should be invisible. Okay, so that we have created this one for this project, and let's change the icon. Okay, and for this, okay, and for this, so that we have completed the project wraps by changing the icons. And the next form will be asking for the code from the customer or from the user. Okay, so for that we need to add the radio buttons. So let me add the radio. Okay, let me take out this one and let me delete all others. The same process which I have done here will be applied here also. For this radio button also, we are going to do the same process which you have done in the checkbox. So this is how I made. Let's check into this component. So here I have given the content wrap. This will be in the absolute positioning, and then is the radio button with the name of quote, and here I have created the variables for this radio button. Because here we are not going to create the variance because we are going to choose only one option in the form. So we are going to click on only one radio button, so only that value will be passed there. So there is no possibility of replacing the field name. So for that I have created with the variable with the name of value. Okay, and also I have given an with the check. If you want, you can create the variable for the checked, if want to be checked or not, something like that. Okay, and even I have created the hover effect which we have done in the checkbox. And this radio button, the position will be in the relative with fill. I have created with the name code. I have created the variable for the value and check. I have given the border, shadow, focus effect and check effect. Everything which I have done in the checkbox is applied in the radio buttons also. Okay, and for instead of radio group, there is code wrap. Here I am going to create it for 3 tabs. Let me create the stack. This will be the top field, and for this let me add the stack. It will be bottom field. Okay, and coming to this, let me change the direction, and coming to the top field, this one, let me make it to fill and fill, no, fill, and coming to the bottom, let me make it to fill, and let's change the direction. Okay, and also let's make to visible and visible as well. And by selecting whole thing, okay, it's already in the visible, and let me add the gap with 50, and for this is 25. Again, let me make it as 25 and 25. We have created the 3 steps, and now I need to add then another button. Okay, now let's get into this button. Let me change the color to purple, and for the hover, let me make it as like this, and again little darker for the loading, and everything is set here. Let me give the radius to be in 20. Great. Okay, we have made the setup. Now for the interaction, we need the button which is created by us. So let's create the button. So here is the button, and let me change the styling with the color of white, and let me increase the height as like this. Is this 40? Let me give it as 40 and make it as fill. Okay, and even we need the previous buttons also. Okay, and coming to this, let's fix with something like this. Okay, with 140 or something. Okay, so we have created the basic setup. Now what I'm going to do is, and coming to this form wrap, I'm going to create this component with a whole form wrap. Okay, this will be the variant one, that is whole form. This is the primary thing, and let me create the variant. This will be act as first half. Okay, this is where we are going to do the magic. Okay, before that, let me hide this visibility, and coming to here, what I think, and then we need the first form. This is the top field, bottom field. Okay, so instead of we have forget one thing, that is for everything we have created the stack, but only for this we didn't. So let me add the stack here. This will be the contact wrap. Okay, let me make it as okay, done. So we have to do the changes in the primary itself. So coming to here, we need the stop field, a title wrap, and coming to this form, we have contact, project and quote. Okay, this contact position will be in the relative, and coming to this project, the position will be in absolute. And let's make it to 0, it will be in the top. And next is the quote, again the position will be in absolute, let me to be in the top. Okay, and then for both the project and quote wrap, let make the opacity to be in 0. Okay, and also the main thing is for the contact wrap, we need to give the z-index value to be in 1, and for the projects and quote wrap, we need to give the z-index value to be in 0 in order to avoid any of the conflicts. Okay, so this will be the contact detail. So we have completed the first half, and coming to this progress bar, we need to set the variant to be in first half. Okay, the next is the second variant. So this will be the second half. Okay, here let me choose up with the second half, and coming to here, this is not the text we need. Let me add it as what type of project you need. We have raised the question, and coming to here, we need the project wrap position to be in relative and contact wrap position to be in absolute, with the z-index value to be in 0 and projects z-index value to be in 1. And let me increase the opacity, and for the contact wrap, let me decrease the opacity. Why we have a decrease the opacity instead of doing the visibility? No, it's because of in order to carry out all the data which we have given in the first form, second form and third form. If we make the visibility to know that data will be disappear, so instead of that we can make the opacity to 0, so that a particular form data will be sustained to the end. Okay, that's why we are doing like that. Okay, so we have completed the second half. The next one is third half. Okay, and coming to the top bar for the progress, this will be the third half, and here the title will be what is your desired quote. Okay, here we have raised the question, and here we need the quote wrap position to be in relative and projects position to be in absolute. The contact is already in an absolute. Now make the z-index to 0, and for the quote wrap, make the z-index to be in 1 and increase the opacity, and project wrap, decrease the opacity. Okay, the another thing we forget is we didn't give the quote. Let's do that also. Okay, so that we have completed the quoting here. You got it? So that we made this also. The next is final. Here is the final, and here we are going to make it as thank you for the submission. So what we are going to do here is okay, so that we made this one, and the important thing is instead of this button, we are going to enable this button. Okay, and let me check on it. 140. So let me add this button. It should be here. So here is the submit button. So only if we click on the submit, it will go to our Google Sheet. Okay, and after that we have to move on to the next variant for the thank you for the submission. So let me add this one. It will be act as final. Okay, and here we are going to add the thank you. So here let me decrease the opacity with the z-index value of 0. Okay, here is the button, and let me change the name to start over. Okay, and here we are going to make it as thank you for submission. I'll make it as process completed, and here we are going to add as thank you for the submission. Okay, for that let me add a frame, and again here let me make the position to be in the letter. Okay, fine. We are going to add a thank you message. So this is the thank you message. Here we are going to add an icon. So for that, let me get inside it. Let me copy this icon wrap. Let me go back here. So inside this thank you message, let me add the icon. Let's make the layout, and even let me make the position to be in absolute 0. Let me hide only this one instead of hiding the entire form. Okay, and where is the form? Thank you. Yeah, here is the thank you message. So coming to this one, let me take out this one, and this is the icon wrap. Let me increase it. Okay, and coming to this icon, this will be tick, check. Okay, and let me increase this also, and behind this we are going to add a message. So let me add the message of the direction of vertical, and make this one to be in this one. Okay, thank you for submission. Okay, and if you want, you can keep this, or even if we doesn't want this, you can make it to visible now. Again, we have created the thank you for submission, and coming to the progress bar, let's make it to full. Okay, so coming to the first one, going to the interaction, if I click, it should go to the second half. Okay, the same process here, transition, it should go to the third half. And coming to this button, it should not be here, so visible no, it should go. And coming to this, when the form is submitted, it should go to the final. So on success, it should go here. So let me show you. On success, it should go to the final. Okay, and the same thing is applicable. If you add a previous button, you can do the process which I have mentioned now. We have created the interaction. Now coming to the form, we need to send the data to the Google Sheet. So for that, I'm going to the send to, and we choose the Google Sheet. We have given the fallback mail. Coming to the form, let me name it as multi-step. It has been created. Okay, it has been connected now. Let me go to the home. I have created a variant to be in first half. Let me check. John at gmail.com. Company, Adam company. I'm just giving some of the name. Let me click on the next. Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. I'm going to choose the development and web design. It's working perfectly fine. Okay, and I'm clicking on next. I'm just choosing the option. If I click on it, it's going up. I'm clicking on it. I'm just clicking on submit. It's redirecting to thank you for submission. Okay, we haven't give the start over, so let's give that to. So if you want to be start over, give the interaction. On click, it should go to the first half. That's it. Now let's check if the data has been stored. This is the sheet. Let me check. Yeah, the code, name, email, phone, company, here it's showing as project. So there is something is odd. So let me go back here. Let me check. This is the project. Yeah, here the name we need to change it as web design, and for this web development, let me check. Okay, and this one will be marketing, and this one will be content writing. Okay, great. Marketing. Okay, now let's check on if it's working or not. So I have given the data, web design, content writing. Next, this one, submit. It's going to thank you for submission, start over. Okay, let me go here. Let me check the sheet. Yeah. Now let's see on the second one. The code, name, email, phone number, company. This is not the thing we want. The web design, content writing. It's working perfectly fine. If you want, you can rearrange the field. You have just built a multi-step form in Framer using only the native tools. No plugins, no third-party integration. And your data directly goes into the Google Sheet automatically. Super smooth and super simple. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more Framer tutorials. And let me know in the comment section what would you like to build next. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.